Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Manifest and Monetize with Aliza Rose. Welcome. My name is Aliza Rose. I'm the business mystic, and I'm so glad that you're here. So, today we're going to be tackling what might be the biggest stumbling block for spiritual entrepreneurs. And this is, going out there and marketing your gifts, marketing your offers without feeling like you need to take a shower afterwards, right? Because there's just this ick factor to it. It feels a little sleazy, feels a little slimy. Okay. So, little backstory. So when I first got started, doing readings, I worked in brick and mortar shops, like all along, Orange County in California. So the shops would be marketing for me, have a little flyer with my cute little face on it, like on a poster board by the front door, or they'd have it on, they would have it up there, or they'd have it in a mailer that they would send out to people, right? A little actual paper mailer, and type of thing. And so that was how I was getting marketed. That's how I was getting, marketed as a reader during those times. And when I made the transition to online, when I moved from California to Alabama, um, I realized, oh my gosh, I am now the owner. I am now the shop. I have to market myself if I want to get clients, right? So, and the thing is, I would have rather, at that time, I would have rather done 1,000 hours of free sessions, okay, than grow an email list and then send an email to the people on that email list, inviting them to a paid offer, inviting them to book a session with me. Okay. And honestly, I think I probably did that. Like many of you, I really thought at this time that, marketing was just inherently icky. It was manipulative, and it was something that I didn't want to be around. I didn't think it was spiritual work, like, at all. Okay. And so I still had that, and I have a Leo sitting on the 12th house. On my I got a Leo, my 12th house cusp there. So it's like it's really hard for me to talk about, like, oh, I do this really cool thing, like, here's what I can do for you, right? Like, I still struggle with that. But then, I got invited to do a business retreat. And one of the things that we got to do at this business retreat was do like a millionaire mindset meditation, like, series type thing. And they were, doing all this stuff to elevate our consciousness and things. And I had this powerful realization in that, like, meditative state, was that spirit showed me I was hiding my gifts. I was actually withholding, by hiding myself, hiding my gifts, I was actually withholding, transformation from the people who needed it, from the people who were looking for my particular style, who were looking for the type of transformation that I could give them, right? So I realized, coming out of that and all the other things that I picked up from this retreat, I realized that by not clearly communicating what I offered, and by not inviting people to work with me in my paid offers, I was actually making their path to healing and transformation and getting what they want longer and harder than it needed to be. Okay. So, and this is definitely a flip of a script. So, from you to them, to the people that you serve, right? And so, knowing that if you're here, you're more than likely you're a people pleaser perfectionist, right? So think about that, right? So think about that little ditty there, that, like, this is the same realization that I had, So that's when I realized that authentic marketing isn't manipulative, okay? It's illumination. All right, illumination. It's shining a light on the path for those people who are looking exactly for what you have to offer. I tell my clients this: in order for our people to find us, we have to stand up. In order to call our people in, the people who want to work with us, who are happy to pay us for the things we do, we have to call ourselves out. Okay, so to call those people in, we got to call ourselves out, and we do this through our marketing. Okay, now, the core problem with marketing, okay, the thing that, like, spiritual entrepreneurs are like, like garlic, vampire steaks, and a cross, type about it, is that, for most spiritual entrepreneurs, we have been taught and we've kind of been absorbed into this mainstream marketing narrative, this model that is manipulative. We see that. We see, where there's things where people misuse NLP, or they will, use subconscious things, subconscious messages, or they'll just be manipulative and icky and gross. And we don't want that, right? We don't like seeing marketing that tries to create false scarcity, that plays on people's insecurities, that disempowers them, okay, that prioritizes making the sale over connection and really coming from a place of service, right? So we don't want to be a part of that, right? We're walking a higher path. We're living out our soul purpose, and our soul purpose is not to make people feel like poo if they don't work with us, right? Our job is to illuminate, hey, if you're feeling like poo and you're looking for this type of help and looking for this kind of way, I invite you to check out my offers, because I can help you not feel like poo. In fact, I can turn that poo and help you feel more powerful, right? Like, we're doing some version of that. Okay. So if we flip the script and we look at it this way, what if marketing could be an extension of our spiritual practice, of our spiritual work? Okay. What if it could be a form of service itself? I am letting people know I am here. Okay. I'm letting people know I'm here. Hey, are you looking for someone who understands astrology, who understands spirit, who understands being a spiritual individual living in a modern life? Are you looking to monetize your gifts and talents and your skills? I can help you. And are you trying to do it so you have you have premium positioning so you can charge higher prices? Hey, I'm your girl. I can help you, right? So letting you know that I am here, that's a form of service itself. You letting people know that you are there is a form of service itself. Okay. Another thing about marketing, when we're looking at it from a sense of a spiritual practice, is that it is a very transparent and beautiful way to demonstrate your values, right? And demonstrating your values before someone even works with you, so they know, right? Like, we're spiritual entrepreneurs, so one of the values we have is we value spirituality. We value our spiritual practices, and we value the spiritual tools that we use, right? So if someone does not value that, they're not going to work with us, right? Like, they're like human design, astrology, spirit guides, right? Like, if they're all like that, they're not going to work with us. But it also helps us demonstrate, other things, social justice, women's rights, or whatever values you have, of service, of humility, right? Of whatever you value, highbrow humor, lowbrow humor, whatever it is, right? It doesn't have to be this big huge thing, but it lets people know what you value before they even work with you, so that it's already a filter, so you're not going to be attracting the wrong kind of people into your universe, right? So another way that we could work at this is that we really want to see, the crux of it is, we really want to see that marketing is an energy exchange. Now, this is very important. It is an energy exchange that respects your potential client's autonomy and their intelligence, right? Like, people aren't stupid. You're not stupid. I'm not stupid, right? Like, so people will understand if you say, hey, I use Reiki, I use ceremony, I use EFT, I use these tools to help you get this transformation. Now, we're not done. We understand, okay, there's this thing, I may not understand it, but she's got this tool, they have this mythology that they're going to put me through, that we're going to use, and it's going to help me get my thing. I don't need to understand the mechanics of it because you're the expert, you understand that, but I understand that you're using this to help me get what I want, right? So we're not dumb. Okay. So your clients, your potential people, your potential customers and clients, they're not dumb or stupid either. And they, our marketing allows them to make an informed decision. Okay. So it is a form of an energy exchange. I'm giving you this information. You are making a decision on it, and it's informed, and it's based on consent. Okay. So we're always empowering our people through this exchange. Okay. Another thing is, when we market, we are allowing, number one, ourselves to be authentically expressed, right? Like, show your personality, show the things that what your thoughts are about stuff, be quirky, be serious, be silly, right? You're allowing people to get a sense of your personality, and the part where the marketing, where this is what makes it move from just a regular old personal post to actual, like, marketing, is also telling people the transformation you offer. Hey, I'm a really silly person. I like to have I have a playful personality. But guess what? If you do business coaching with me, I'm gonna have that same energy in there as we go through your funnel, right? As I redo your funnel. Hey, I am a tarot reader. I'm a little bit serious. I like my wine, and I take my take my rom-coms really seriously here. If you work with me, I'm going to be making, romantic movie references throughout your reading about your love life, right? I mean, you're just bringing that flavor in it, right? So this is an authentic expression of who you are. So you want your marketing to showcase that, right? And, so this concept of true spiritual marketing, doesn't try to convince or force or coerce anyone to do anything. Okay. It's all about invitation, informed information, and consent. Okay. True spiritual marketing is its job is just to communicate very clearly. Number one, the specific type of transformation you provide. Okay, what do? They're gonna have clarity. They're gonna know what to do next. They're gonna know how to be a premium. They're gonna know how to create premium positioning for themselves in their business. Okay, they're gonna understand their chart. You know, they're gonna have like names picked out for their kids, like whatever your service is, right? Number two, who's it for and who it's not for. Hey, I work with women. I work with everyone. I work with plants. I work with dogs. I don't work with planets. Okay, I don't work with aliens. Okay, I don't work with corporal folks, only incorporeal, right? Like, I mean, type of thing. And by aliens, I meant like extraterrestrials. Okay, that's what I meant by that. Not the other, right? So so it's kind of important, like, who do you work for? Who is this offer for and who is it not for? And then number three, what is your method? How do you uniquely deliver this transformation? You have a method. If you are listening to this podcast, guaranteed you have a framework. In fact, more than likely, you have like 10 different methods and methodologies, and you're probably a little bit confused about which one to lead with, but that's okay, right? We're overgivers, overachievers, gifted problem solvers. That's why we have 50 million frameworks and methods. But you have a unique way in which you can deliver this transformation for your client. Okay, so just understand that. Your marketing is meant to convey that. And then finally, what working with you requires. Okay, this is the part that I think a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs forget to build in there, and that's energetically. Don't ghost your commitments. Show up. Don't be wishy-washy. Be ready. Or hey, come as you are. Be vulnerable. Be soft. Be silent. What energy level do they have to be? Right? And then financially, they have to be financially prepared to work with you. Okay? I tell my clients this in my VIP coaching program. You are a glorious bookstore. You have a coffee shop. You've got cute magnets. Of course, you have books. You have like fine chocolates. You are not a library. Both places have books, but one is paid and one is not. Okay, so we're monetizing your skills, your talents. Now, they both have places in our society. I love a library. I'm a local, friends of my library, member here. But when it comes to our business, financially, they have to be prepared to work with you. And then practically, how are we actually going to do this? How are we actually going to put our boots on the ground and actually get this done? Right? So really super important that you build that into your marketing as well. And you're forward with it, right? Because we want people to be informed. We're not trying to hide the fact that, hey, you do have to be mentally and emotionally prepared, energetically prepared to work with me. This is deep soul work. Or, hey, there is a cost to work with me. If you want me to redo your entire closet so it represents your true spirit and you've got a soulful, minimalist, wardrobe capsule, it's going to cost you money, right? Like, we need to be very comfortable telling people there's a cost. And then, of course, practically, what needs to be in place? You need to be in my town. We're going to do this online. We're going to start here. It's a 7-day program. You need to block out an hour a day for this, right? Like, we need to let people know. And our marketing does that for us, right? It does the heavy lifting. Okay. So when you communicate with this level of clarity, you automatically bring integrity into it. You automatically bring in authenticity. You're not hiding anything. Okay. And by this, because your marketing has done the job of the heavy lifting of filtering out people who are not a good fit, who maybe are tire kickers, who are not ready energetically, financially, or practically to work with you, you are going to attract the right people. You are going to attract those right fit clients who are aligned with your work and are ready to do the work with you. no manipulation required, right? Just pure clarity, pure service, pure love. Okay, that is what true spiritual marketing is. So, the one thing that I would love for you all to do is I want you to today, or, when you're listening to this podcast, or if you're watching the video, is to create an authentic invitation script. I love invitations. That is how I, get people enrolled, into my $15,000 coaching program. Okay. It is how I fill my private one-on-one spaces. It's just, I invite people. I don't coerce them and be like, come work with me. I'm going to get your chart, whether you like it or not. Like, I don't do that, and I don't think you should either. There's no need to. So I want you to create what I'm calling like an authentic invitation script, because we're inviting people. We're going to give them information. They're going to be informed. And then they have consent. Yeah. I want to, let me know more. Right. So this will feel aligned with your values. And it's also going to be effective in converting interest, to clients to really, and again, with the word convert, it's just taking someone who did not buy from you to someone who is now a customer. Okay. Don't get the word conversion and have an attachment to it in terms of the work that we do together. It's like something was a liquid, now it's a solid. Somebody was not a buyer, now they're a buyer, right? So keep it neutral in your energy and your nervous system that way, so you don't like start to block this. Okay. So we're working on creating a script where we're inviting people in. And I will make sure that when this podcast posts, once it posts, I will have this as a blog on my website. If you're not sure what the website is, it's www.thebusiness-mystic.com. If you go to the tab, I think it's blog, you are going to be able to it's under blog. You're going to be able to see the actual text of this that you can copy and paste for yourself, so you can fill in the blank. But here's what the script is. It is, I work with what type of person you work with. I'm like, for me, it'd be like, I work with spiritual entrepreneurs who are experiencing, what is their problem? Who are experiencing like no sales, or people saying no to their high ticket offers. Through our work together, you will typically experience what is the transformation that they're going to get from you. Your approach is unique because what do you do? I combine astrology with premium positioning. That's my unique perspective and mythology. And working with me requires what? This is where we get to be really transparent. What's the commitment level, the financial investment, any other requirements? Working with me requires that you are ready to implement. You can commit at least to 2 to 5 hours a week to work on and in your business, upgrading your mindset, and believing that you deserve to have success and design a life and business that you love. Like, that's my requirement, right? If this resonates with you where you are right now, I'd love to explore if we're a good fit together. So the next step is reply back to my email, book a consultation call, fill out my application form, right? Like, so did you see, like, that was so super simple, right? Like, there was no drama. Once again, I will put the link as soon as the podcast show posts. I will put in the description or the show notes, and also post this on my blog on my website, so you can get the script. Okay. So the thing about the script is that you can personalize it to your framework. And then I want you to practice, saying it, saying it out loud, and then being able, say it out loud so it brings your energy into it, and then type it out, and then you can send it out in email or DMs or whatever have you, right? So anytime someone asks you what you do, or, you put it on your website or in your bios or whatever, however you're introducing your work, you have the script in your back pocket. So someone's like, oh my God, I would love to work with you. Tell me more about your somatic coaching. You could just copy and paste this, put it in there. But again, I recommend you say it out loud first, so you get your energy, you breathe life into the script. So it's your breath, your life, and then transcribe it or write it down in your own words. Okay. The power is in the clarity. So, and the power is in the respect. And, this type of a script will definitely help you embody that when it comes to marketing your business, and then letting people know how they can work with you, while introducing how much it costs, what the financial, energetic, and practical needs are. Okay, so remember, we're not trying to convince anyone. We're simply extending a very clear invitation to those who recognize themselves in your words. Okay, so that's what the script is all about. I know this has been a little wordy today on today's podcast episode. So In closing, I want you to remember to shift your mindset, reframe marketing, and reframe it in understanding, believing that marketing who you are, your service, comes from a place of service, not scarcity. Okay, it is an extension of your gifts. Okay, rather than something that like is diminishing it. Your marketing is not tainting your gifts; it actually is illuminating it. It's amplifying it. Right. So the next time, so the next time someone asks you something, you've got a script and you're energetically, you have capacity to be like, yeah, come work with me. I would love to work with you. Right. So until then, I want you to go ahead and practice, using your authentic invitation script. And I want you to notice how you feel. And I want you to practice letting people know what you can do for them and how good you are. All right. So until next time, take care and we'll talk soon. All right. Bye.